In about 2 months, I will have been making videos online about literature for 10 years. This entire time, I have been a bit shady on the idea of love. More recently, I have come to terms with the fact that I just don't think I believe in it. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's a thing. I think it's a thing we tell ourselves is a thing. And it's not really there. That's my belief. However, as someone who dedicates so much of his time to literature and words and ideas about words and words about ideas, I think I can give you a pretty good idea of what love would mean if it were real. Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will appear in 2 playlists here on the channel. Number 1 being the poetry discussion playlist, now over 800 videos strong. Number 2 is the Classic Haunts playlist, a playlist of 31 horror-type videos in 31 days, celebrating Halloween of 2025. And we are here for that poetry discussion over a poem titled The Phantom Wooer. Wooer by Thomas Lovell Beddoes. So the name is difficult, and so is the title. But the poem, I won't say it's simple. I won't say it's easy. But I think there's just 1 or 2 conceits that you have to go with in order to have a pretty interesting interpretation here. The poem itself reads as such. A ghost that loved a lady fair, ever in the starry air of midnight at her pillow stood, and, with a sweetness skies above, the luring words of human love, her soul phantom wooed. Sweet and sweet is their poisoned note. The little snakes of silver throat in mossy skulls that nest and lie, ever singing die, oh, die. Young soul, put off your flesh and come with me into the quiet tomb. Our bed is lovely, dark and sweet. The earth will swing us as she goes beneath our coverlet of snows and the warm leaden sheet. Dear and dear is their poisoned note, the little snakes of silver throat in mossy skulls that nest and lie, ever singing die, oh die. So we have a ghost that watches over a beloved lady who is so fair. And I think we are originally led to believe through basically here, kind of. We're led to believe that this individual, this ghost, this phantom wooer, is in love with the young woman and watching over her as a caring spirit. But then we get down here. Sweet and sweet is their poisoned note, the little snakes of silver throat in mossy skulls that nest and lie, ever singing die, oh die. That first part of the stanza there, we are left to understand, after that first part of the stanza there, we are left to understand something meaningfully darker. The phantom does not want what is best for this beloved. No, he wants her company while she is in her corporeal form and he is but a phantom. The two cannot share time together. He can watch her. She has no idea he's there. In this way, he wishes to own her, not to love her. This poem, I think, calls into question 2 things. It calls into question the nature of love, and it calls into question the specter of self-awareness. So how is that so? What does that mean? Well, Here we go. I think if love were a thing, hypothetically, it would be different to love a thing versus to love a person. I love corn dogs. I see them and I feel as if I need them. They make me feel better. They make me whole. I take their sweet, savory goodness and I integrate it into my being. But I never stop to ask, am I good for corn dogs? I don't care. I don't care if I am good for corn dogs. I love corn dogs, and so I eat them carelessly. I consume them. Now, this might be a bit of a stretch. This might be pretentious of me. I think that if loving a person is an actual thing, it is different than the way that I love corn dogs. Maybe that's going too far out on a limb. Maybe that is a bit of a gamble of a statement. Maybe that doesn't even make any sense. I contend that if love were real, it would make sense. I think that loving a person is different than loving a thing. If you love a thing, you want it because you feel like it makes you whole. If you love a person, you want that person to be whole. Loving a person is not about you. Sometimes, and that is where this poem comes into play today, sometimes that comes with the stark, disheartening, perhaps unheartening realization that you are not good for that person. You can love that person, but if you cannot be good for that person, do you really, if you love them, have any business in their life? In that case, if not, if you realize that you are not good for them, in that case, you can A, get better. Maybe it is within the realm of possibility. Perhaps it is within your power to improve to the point where you can make that beloved individual's life better. Or you can recognize that that person deserves better and bow out. I think there is a lot of misunderstanding around the phenomenon in our culture of ghosting. I think sometimes what happens there is that someone feels lesser than, and so they ghost. Well, what happens when you ghost somebody, ironically, with this poem, obviously, is that you leave that person feeling as if they were not worth your time, right? So I think that there is a conundrum there, but if you love someone and you cannot make their life better, the onus is on you to realize that. Does this beloved deserve better than me? People who truly love a thing often neglect whether or not that thing is good for them. How many people love cigarettes? How many people love Coca-Cola? It's actually surprisingly popular for people to love corn dogs. There's all sorts of online bulletin boards and whatnot. There are societies that you can belong to as a corn dog lover. Never do you wonder if those things are good for you. I love my cigarettes. I love my Coca-Cola. I love my corn dogs. Maybe these things are bad for me, but that means that I will get better somewhere else. I'm not giving this thing up, this staple of myself. The same is true for loving a person. Many let their beloved destroy them, right? So that's sort of the opposite of what we have going on in this poem. We have the beloved who is ignorant to the individual who loves them. But just like we don't sometimes question whether or not the thing that we love is good for us, people will not question whether or not the person they love is good for them. They will let that person destroy them. But to truly love a person is to recognize if you are good for them. The wooer here, this phantom, does not truly love the fair maiden. He merely wants her. That is what is going on in this poem. A ghost that loved a lady fair. We are being lied to in the very opening of this poem. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.